All right, welcome back. So if you didn't have time to, or if you forgot to get grape juice, wine, any kind of juice, it's okay. Whatever juice you can find and some sort of bread, then go ahead and pause this and go get the elements that you'll need for communion. So what Jesus said, I'll remind it, said likewise, first he said, and he took the bread and gave thanks and brake it and gave it unto them, saying, this is my body. I'm going to give a piece to Leanne here. And Leanne just said, this is huge. I apologize. We might be having dry bread coming out of our mouth. But anyway, he said, this is my body, which is given for you. Remember, this is the bread of affliction. And he said, do this in remembrance of me. So when we take of this bread, we do it remembering what Jesus did for us. When we take it, remembering what Jesus did for us, we take it worthily. You know, in Corinthians talks about coming to the table worthy of being able to take it. We are able to come to the table when we believe that Jesus stood in the gap for us, and his body was beaten beyond recognition so that we could have a relationship with the Father. That God wants us to be introspective and think about things, forgive those who we need to forgive, and accept forgiveness from others. But the reason we can come to the table is because we believe that this bread represents Jesus Christ, who went to the cross because we just couldn't measure up to be able to do the things that we, in essence, could never do to be in right standing with God. And so when we take this, we take it in remembrance of that. And Jesus says some things in Hebrew. I won't say them right now. I might do it over the wine, but he said some things in Hebrew that we'll probably discuss more when we take of the actual Passover. So then he said, likewise, also the cup after supper. So this is the third cup, the cup of redemption. He said, this cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you. He probably said something like, Brit Chadashah Beit Ami, which means the renewed covenant in my blood. He also probably did the traditional Hebrew prayer, that we say, which is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagofen, which means blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who gives us the fruit of the vine. Let's just think about that for 1 sec. In John 15, it says that I am the vine, my Father is the vine dresser, husbandman, depending on which version you read. Jesus is the vine. What Jesus gives us through the vine, the fruit of the vine, is the fruit of his Spirit: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faithful, meekness, temperance. That's in the King James Version, in Galatians. But anyway, he gives us those fruit. When we take of this, we're taking of the fruit of the Spirit, of his Spirit. So it's a pretty awesome thing, don't you think? Cup of redemption. Take this in remembrance of me. In the Passover ceremony, we're instructed to take every bit of that cup, all cups. We don't take Jesus just partly. We take every bit of him, which we'll talk a little bit more when we celebrate the Passover. And so I would like to just stop the video, and we'll have a third video or another video. I don't know what number we're on. And we'll kind of close with that last video. But what I would like you to do is to pray between these two videos. So we're going to pray for our world. We're going to pray for our nation. We're going to pray for our state, our city. We're going to pray for the leadership of all those different areas. We're going to pray for our first responders, our medical community. We're going to pray for the people of this community. And I'd like you also to pray for your families. And, we do have some people that are struggling within our life group. And I would also encourage you to pray for our life group. Specifically, we have some people that are struggling with some medical issues. I know that Tootie would not mind if I shared that she's, struggling. And Tootie has gone both the natural way, and we're praying for some supernatural things. And those two aren't mutually exclusive. It's okay to pray for wisdom for the people that are caring for Tootie. It's okay to pray that the people that are coming to take care of her, that are filled with the knowledge and wisdom of God, that their hands would be guided by God. There's nothing wrong with that. We're also praying for a supernatural intervention by God himself. And so I just would like you to do that for Tootie, and also for some supernatural strength for Jim. This is a difficult road that he's gone on. There are some other people that have had some issues medically. I don't think I'm comfortable in expressing exactly what people have asked of me from a medical standpoint, but it is possible that they may share that on their own, and we can pray for them as well. Okay, so just take a moment, and then when you're ready, just